clicky.
Yes, Carrie Anderson is on. Okay.
Hi,
all
Carrie.
Right, so we got activity here.
There you go.
All right.
We're going to give it a few extra minutes today so people realize that they have to go to YouTube now. Sorry. We didn't want to force you, but we didn't want to force you, but Facebook sort of forced me to force you to go to YouTube.
Yeah, we've got Doreen Crawford.
Hi, Doreen.
Greetings
Welcome.
from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Cool.
West Side.
Awesome. Welcome.
Hi, guys. So excited about doing this one. Roxanne Gast.
Hey, Roxanne. Welcome back.
Cynthia Brown says hello.
Hey, Cynthia.
All right, so since we're going to be here on YouTube and we're not doing Facebook tonight because of technical reasons, I guess.
Sort of.
We're going to get started, everybody. Let's go.
Oh, my goodness.
It's the first time for everything.
Jennifer got banned from Facebook.
Rock and roll.
Welcome. Welcome to Self-Care Thursday. So a little backstory.
Yeah, a little modification here on Self-Care Thursday.
So silly enough, I mean, I don't normally post certain things on Facebook. I don't usually curse on Facebook, let's put it that way. So I had a picture from our bubble brunch that was 2 weeks ago, and our photographer released the photos of the event. And in one of the photos, two of my friends are talking to one another. I'm in the picture talking to the two of them, and my third friend is looking like directly at the camera, like, you know, she, like I said, she's giving the death stare, and I did curse, but I used a little asterisk. Anywho,
I don't think the asterisks matter.
Anywho, Jennifer got banned from Facebook, or I'm restricted from Facebook for a month. So we cannot go live from Facebook. So Facebook has forced us to make you move over to YouTube. Sorry.
Sorry about that, everybody.
So welcome to YouTube if you haven't been with us on YouTube before. I did share the event I did share the YouTube link onto the event, onto the page. So hopefully everybody's finding their way over here. Very sorry. Technical things. Technical typing wrong.
Those type of things happen.
I'm
I
sorry.
Guess sometimes, once in a while.
I am just not the girl. If Facebook was like, oh, who is this girl? She doesn't do that. You guys learn my lesson. Sorry.
So Cheryl Moyer, that's how we're doing right now.
Hi, Cheryl. How are you? It's been a while.
Cynthia Brown is from one of my favorite places in Canada, Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And Kathy Reinhardt says she has D&D tonight, so she won't be painting, but she's hanging out until it starts.
No problem. Have fun. Awesome. So, yes, if you don't know us and you're new with us, please let us know.
Brenda Lewis, hello from Monroe, Michigan.
Hi, Brenda. How are you? So, I am Jennifer. Mark is behind the camera and the computer. We are Mimosas and Masterpieces out of Halifax, Pennsylvania now. Yay.
Judy Schumacher says hi.
Hey, Judy.
Good
Good to see you, too. Welcome. Well, hear you, know you.
Suzanne Burgett says thanks for posting a YouTube link on your Facebook page.
Sorry.
Thank you. I'm glad somebody came over to this
side. Thank you. Sorry.
Jackie Jefferson says glad to be here tonight.
Hey, Jackie. Welcome.
Now, Cheryl Moyer, it says in parentheses, Message retracted.
Uh-oh.
I don't know what message she put in there, but YouTube just retracted.
Uh-oh.
Okay, we got Pam Faraglow. Hi from Ohio, a newbie.
Welcome. Welcome.
Thank you for joining us on this sort of strange night. We're usually on Facebook and YouTube, but we had a little something happen, and
Whoops, sorry.
it'll be about another 30 days before we're back on Facebook. So all the ads that you see tonight for the upcoming events will just be on YouTube right here at this channel. And of course, you got plenty of paintings here. You go through our catalog. There's plenty of paintings for you to do if you're a newbie. You can check us out and paint with us anything that you like. You can use it to paint with your kids, with your friends, date night. You got a lot to pick from here.
We'll show you a couple of our upcoming events throughout the night. For now, we're just going to give everyone another minute or so to check in since we have our little technical...
We got an exodus. We got a migration happening. People coming over from Facebook, give them a chance to figure it out.
Sorry.
And they'll come on over. Grandma Pat says hi.
Hey,
I can't get you on Facebook.
That's my fault. Sorry.
She said, I'm glad to paint tonight. How's everybody doing?
Thank you. I just said Grandma Pat's on the website. You're the only person I know from Kearney, New Jersey.
Yes, Suzanne Burgess says, do you have music playing in the background? Yes, I do.
He does.
Is that music too loud? I'll turn it down.
Yeah, let us know if that's too loud. We want you to be able to kind of hear the music, but also be able to hear me. Because I don't normally talk very loud.
I don't think I have it up loud.
I don't know.
Okay, and then Cheryl says, how do you like it here there in Halifax?
We love it. I posted something yesterday or maybe I posted it this morning, but last night was my own personal self-care Wednesday. I go and take a pottery class with my brother and my sister-in-law, and that's my own day out of the house. I don't usually leave the house unless I'm going there or I'm going to Jersey. So I decided to take up a class with them, and I love it. It is just kind of, I cannot touch my phone basically, which is wonderful. I need to, that's pretty much, because if I have my phone in my hand, I'm working, networking, socializing, so I cannot have my phone in my hand because my hands are full of clay. So that is the best thing for me.
Yes, self-care.
2.5, 3 hours of just kind of enjoying that downtime, just like we like to offer for you tonight. That is something that we've been proud of from the very beginning, to offer free self-care classes. And we started calling it self-care after our National Association of Social Workers event the very first year we did this. It is Social Work Month, so thank you to all of our social workers.
And that video, by the way, is here on our channel. You can see our very first video that we did when we started.
You can actually sign up. We did the painting previously, but you can actually sign up through the National Association of Social Workers. If you scroll through the Mimosas page, you'll see that link. You can sign up through them. They'll be the ones sending you the Zoom link, but we'll be here painting live, and we're going to paint that Love One Another with the heart and the hand. That will be on Tuesday night, so if you're interested in doing that. But other than that, let's go over our supplies and get started.
All right, well, we still got Suzanne Russell from Florida joining us today.
Hi, Suzanne. Welcome.
Okay, we've got Judy Schumacher. I did say music a little loud for me. Okay. I turned it down a little bit.
Thank you.
Diane Layton says hi. I'm going to trace the horse tonight and paint later.
Sounds good.
And then lastly, but not least, Suzanne Burgett says, yes, if you could turn the music down a little bit, we would appreciate it so that we can hear you guys better.
Awesome, you got
Good music, but makes it difficult to hear you guys. Okay, let's take care of that right now.
Very good. Awesome. Yeah, we're excited to be coming to you live and still doing this. I know probably last week, I think it was, I had posted a picture that I saw, posted it from another friend actually. And it was an artist sitting at the canvas with his head against the canvas, and it said something about, it's hard or it's sad when you lose your passion, or it hurts when you lose your passion to do what you love. And that was by no means saying that I don't want to paint, but I just wanted to be open and honest with everybody that has been with us for a long time, that hasn't seen, normally I used to have months scheduled in advance for what we're going to do. And since our move and I just, my regular job, things have been, it's been stressful, it's been difficult, and it's been hard for me to be motivated sometimes to create the new things. So I was just kind of sharing that insight with you, and there was hundreds of reactions and comments and private messages encouraging me, and you know what, you guys have totally lifted my spirits, and that reminds me why we do this, why I do this. So thank you. Before I cry.
Gail Pinto says hello.
Hi, Gail.
How are you doing tonight?
Thank you. My goodness.
Okay?
Yeah, I'm good. But so many of you related, and I just appreciate that. So thank you for allowing us to do this with you and for you being with us. So, all right, let's do our supplies. Phew. I have my 16 by 20 canvas. I do have my horse sketched on it. Now, our little friend Abigail asked me to do a Pegasus, and I did kind of transform one into a Pegasus early this morning for her, just to prove my painting does not always look like my painting, and your painting is not going to look like my painting either. If you're new with us, I do not like to focus, not that I don't like to, but I don't focus on the paint on the canvas. It is more about the time with you, giving you those moments, that downtime, those smiles and memories. We are going to paint a canvas. We are going to show you some light techniques. We don't like to call them tutorials. We like to just say they're sessions.
Yes.
But we are here with you. If you have questions, you can always message them in. And if you have other questions later, you can always PM us and message me. And I do always get back to everybody.
And Abby, there's your Pegasus right there.
Oh, there she is.
Lower
Yay.
right-hand corner. No, she's not on yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm just letting her know so that when she does come on, she's going to know. There's your Pegasus right there.
I sent it to her in a message this morning with her mom. So thank you.
All right.
But so this is the point of that whole thing was my painting's not going to look like my painting. You can have it vertically. You can have it horizontally. I did message this morning or yesterday that you could change the placement of your horse. If you want more water, you're going to bring your horse up and do more water. If you want more sky, you'll move your horse down a bit. It's all in what you would like. And as you do this, you may like it and you may say, I want to do another one with like a Pegasus and change it up and do it again. We love that.
Yes.
So
let you do what you feel is best.
So my canvas 16 by 20 is sketched. The only thing I'm using tonight are all primary colors: red, yellow, blue, black, and white. We're going to go with probably 3 brushes tonight. My 1-inch large flat brush, my medium round, that number 8 brush, and then that number 4 smaller brush for detail. We do have our Mimosas branded brushes on our website. It is a set of 4. And it also includes that 1/2-inch brush. These are the 4 brushes that I use for everything that I do.
And what's the website again?
mimosasmasterpieces.com.
2 words into one.
Yep. Cup of water to rinse, paper towel to dry. I have my water to sip with a lid so I don't dip in my sip, and my other special beverage behind me. Let's get started.
Yeah, Kathy Reinhardt says, how about upside down, backwards, inside out?
If you want.
And Suzanne Bergen says, you are more than your circumstances. You make a difference through your painting classes. Do not let anyone dull your sparkle. And she said, I said painting classes, but I do like your choice of words for what you do.
Yes.
Painting sessions.
Right. We've always said that, and Mark was from the very beginning, he kind of instilled that with me. Like, we are not a tutorial. And while I know that that's what people search when they're on YouTube, we kind of hide that in the wording later, so people can find us. But I do prefer to say we're a session because, even when I go out and do parties, we say it's an experience,
Exactly.
Not just a party.
Right.
So it is about those happy feelers.
Those moments.
Those moments, yes.
That we have with you every time we come on.
That's
and
right.
Finally,
Who do we got?
Abby's here.
Hi, Abby.
She's here. She says, thank you for the
girl,
Pegasus.
You're welcome.
And the Pegasus, as you can see, she's got it, and it's also up there on the wall.
So once I'm done painting my entire horse, then I'll show you how to add those wings if you want to add those wings later. I did change up the color in those horses. So my original one was kind of a gray or black horse. And then the one that I did as the Pegasus was more of a white horse with some of those colors just kind of repeated in there, that's all.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and get started. So we're gonna do our background first. So we're gonna start with our large flat brush, rinse and dry. Rinse and dry. We wanna make sure our brush is relatively dry because if it's too wet, your paint's gonna just drip down your canvas. So large flat brush, rinse and dried. So we're gonna start with just our straight blue right across the top. And normally, most artists are gonna tell you, you never use your primary color straight. And normally I would say, yeah, no, but we are gonna blend a little, so don't worry.
Awesome.
All right, so large flat brush, just with my blue, we're gonna go straight across the top. So horizontal brush strokes. And when I do paint, I like to grab my edges in the top and the bottom of my canvas. It does help it look finished in the end. So once I get a good maybe 2 or 3 brush widths down with this, then I'll kind of go back and forth to smooth out those lines because I like those, you know, instead of having like choppy lines like this, I like to just run my brush across and smooth it out.
Jamie Pangborn just joined us.
Hey Jamie, hi Jamie, hi Corbin, how are you? How's everyone doing tonight?
And Kathy says, this magic moment when brush touched my paint. Totally singing that now.
Aww, this magic moment. You don't want to hear that song.
No, don't want to hear it.
You don't want to hear me sing it.
You can sing pretty good.
Oh my goodness. So once I have about 2 or 3 brush widths of that blue, I'm going to keep this brush. You don't have to rinse it or dry it. We're going to take some white paint. So what I like to tell any of our beginners when you're using your paint on your palette or your plate, don't take from the center of your paint. You're going to take always from the edge or the side of your paint so you don't mess up that whole pot of paint there. So generous amount of white, and we're going to lay that horizontally right underneath that blue. So all the way across.
Just one streak, one line?
We'll start with that. I'm going to start with that. Same brush. So I'm going to kind of start to blend that in underneath a bit, and then we're going to bring it up into the blue a little. So a good brush width or so of that white. And of course you're blending in with the blue that's already on your brush. Now we're going to come up into the blue. So back and forth, up into the blue a bit.
And again, I want to thank everybody for switching over and joining us on
thanks,
YouTube
guys.
tonight. You know, it's unexpected what happened with Facebook, but we'll be back there soon.
I don't often get reprimanded for things. I never get reprimanded for things.
Yeah, it's totally out of character. I was totally shocked. If you ask me, I was shocked.
Oops.
I couldn't believe it. And then I thought maybe because I'm the other admin, I could do it on my end. And they banned me too, and I didn't do anything.
Nice try, but we still got around you.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
well, you know, it happens.
Wouldn't even let me do it, so that's terrible.
Oh my goodness. So depending on how much sky you have, so in my original painting, my horse is up a little higher. I love painting sunsets, so I wanted a nice big sky behind me. So you can bring this down as much as you want to. So we're going to go from blue to like a pink and kind of blend in a little bit of purple and then yellow at the bottom. Now, it's up to you whether you want to paint your sun now, which is what I'm going to do to show you. We'll kind of overlap the colors, or you want to just wait until you have the whole sky painted and then go back and do the sun. So because I'm doing a lot of blue, I'm going to put in my sun now, and then we'll go back and do more of the background. So I'm going to rinse and dry this really good. And this is kind of unusual from what I normally would have done, but it's just to change it up and show you that I do use different techniques, and it's just kind of all about how you feel.
Okay.
Mark originally wanted me to try and paint the sample and record it being painted, and I'm like, what the technique that I use when I paint a sample for you guys versus how I paint it live is totally different.
Right.
So it never really works. So me talking through it, I usually have to paint one and then I can talk through it the next time.
Whatever works.
So my large flat brush, I'm going to stick with this, and I'm going to use this time a corner of white and a corner of yellow. So corner of white, corner of yellow on that brush. So it's all depends on you where you want that sun. Right behind your horse, you want it over here to the side. This is all up to you, okay? I'm going to come right in the center this time.
Okay, you're gonna change it up.
I'm going to change it up a little. Yep. So this is a light color, so if you do paint over the horse, it's not going to be that big of a deal. So if you happen to go over those lines, don't worry, don't stress, it's okay.
Never worry, never stress.
Nope. There's no worrying or stress in painting with me. So I want to put that whole sun in there, and it's okay, we'll go over it.
Okay.
And that was, again, just a corner.
Yeah, see, Blanche says, I thought it was my internet. It's our internet.
It's not you, it's our internet too. We are also in the middle of nowhere, so we do have those issues.
This doesn't happen a lot.
It really doesn't. I mean, we've occasionally had some connection issues.
I don't know what happened. I don't know why we lost our connection.
Maybe Facebook and YouTube are talking.
Well, let's hope not. I'm running everything through Caster and OBS.
Listen, if I have
and
to, I'm
like
gonna.
OBS had the issue.
I'm gonna say, if I have to, I'm gonna send everybody a Zoom link, and we'll get on that way.
I'm looking at all the settings here. Everything looks fine.
Where there's a will, there is a way. Don't you worry.
Well, we apologize for the disruption in the broadcast.
Oh my goodness. Crazy.
Yeah, it happens. We lost our audience.
Sorry.
We gotta give them a few minutes to try to figure it out and come back.
Hop back on with us.
Yeah, see, Kathy Reinhardt says, oh, hi there.
I know.
Judy
Thank you.
says, careful with that potty mouth.
Right?
Yeah, the potty mouth is what started the whole thing.
No, but maybe that's why YouTube took you off too. Profanity.
I didn't say any curse words.
Yeah.
I did?
Yeah.
What did I say?
HE double hockey sticks.
That's not a curse
I don't
word.
know. In the words of kids, I don't know. I'm just saying. Who knows? At this point, we
Yeah,
have to
Abby's back.
We gotta be angels right now.
No. No.
Oh my
Some of the
goodness.
stuff that I see on here, no way.
This is very true. Very true.
I don't know what caused it, but you know, sometimes things like that happen, but not a lot here, but we got caught this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, Kathy says, as my 4-year-old son was singing to me in the car this week, blank happens. Exactly.
I love them.
It happens. I'm not going to lose my mind over it because I could, but
Not
you know, I just be calm about everything now. I just gotta focus on trying to get it back up and running. I don't know what happened. I looked at all of the settings and made sure everything is correct. It is. We just lost our signal and it just disconnected and then it reconnected. I don't know why that happened.
We don't. We don't know.
I'm checking my CPU percentage. That's good. My frames per second is good.
Okay.
Yeah, everything looks good here. Everything's running like it was.
All right.
Music not too loud.
All right. How about if I
Just pick up where we left off.
Keep
you
going.
was making a sun.
and then if anybody needs repeating, I can always repeat, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I have my blue, my white. We did our white and yellow sun. I just rinsed and dried this brush. We're gonna go a corner of white and a little corner of red this time. So big corner of white, little corner of red. And we're gonna come right underneath that blue. Now if you happen to come near your sun, I'm gonna try not to go over the sun. I'm gonna try to avoid it.
Yeah, Abby says, can you repeat the yellow again?
I can, yes. So for my sun, I used a corner of yellow and a corner of white. And you can put your sun wherever you want. You can make it as big as you want, as small as you want. You know how it works, girl. Right?
Right, so then if you go over your horse with that yellow, it's okay.
Yeah, because we'll be able to paint over that. That's where I was going with that.
And you can place your sun wherever you like.
So I'm gonna carefully come like up to my sun, but not quite go over it.
So you don't want to mix it?
We don't really quite want to mix it yet. So corner of white, little corner of red for that pink sky. Again, I kind of came right underneath that blue to start. And then kind of doing back and forth near my sun. And you can make this pink section as big as you want. but I do want to bring some of this up into the blue. So real light, really light pressure. We're gonna lightly bring some of that pink and white up into our blue. Now, because this is kind of dried, they're not gonna blend very well. So if you need to, you can kind of go back and do a little bit of blue and white on your brush and kind of come back across there, just a little. But if not, you could just use that pink and white and come up into your blue. And what the other thing that may help on this is just a tiny bit of water, not a lot, just a tiny bit of water on that brush, and that will also kind of help kind of reliven that paint that you can blend it. So now I have a little bit of blue, a little bit of purple in there, some pink, kind of right up to my sun.
All right, so we're good. We're back now. We got a nice, excellent connection.
Awesome.
Everything looking good.
Very good. So I'm going to keep coming down. I want to make a nice big section of that pink color.
Kathy said, spit on it. Just kidding. Don't do that.
Oh, I love you guys. You know it. One of the things we always say, if you're new with us, you come as a guest, you leave as a friend, because we have, over the past 2 years, gained so many friends. Kathy, who's chatting with us now, just started painting with us, and we've kind of been friends and chatting ever since. And it's one of the things I love. I love and appreciate, you know, the camaraderie, the support that you guys have for one another and us. We do really appreciate.
Yes, we do.
It is about putting good out, always. So, I got some pink in there.
All right, so you got some pink in your sky.
Yeah, pink in the sky.
Your sun.
Yep.
Now, I'm just going to give a shout out for next week's
Yeah,
session,
go ahead.
which now is going to be on YouTube and
Yes.
not on Facebook.
Yes.
So keep in mind, next week we'll be doing SpongeBob Pop Art,
Yay.
March the 10th, 7 p.m. Eastern Start Time. And it's not going to be on Facebook. It's
YouTube.
going to be on YouTube, so
Yes.
you won't have to make any mistakes about where to find us.
So know that SpongeBob is going to be at least 3 hours. So plan for at least 3 hours. It is, of course, always okay if you want to do part of it and then put your stuff down and then come back to it later or the next day, whatever. That's what it's there for.
It's right there above our head. That's what we're going to be doing next week, everybody.
So in the event plans for this that you will sign up for, there are also sketches to Gary and his pineapple, you know, his house.
Okay.
So they're also there too if you want to add those or do those. Depending on the audience and how many people join us, I may do a second session with them. It just depends on how many people we have with us.
Okay. Cool.
All right, so I'm gonna actually not even rinse and dry this this pink and white that I was using. I'm going to just grab a little bit of a corner of yellow and a corner of white again. So corner of yellow, corner of white on that brush, and right on. I'm gonna actually go right over and overlap some of that pink and white. So if you overlap that pink and white, you're going to see some of that orange coming through. Again, if you happen to go over the horse, obviously, totally fine. And then I think that is where I will start my water. So you want your sky to come down at least to where your horse's legs and hooves are going to be in the water where it's running. If you happen to go down farther than that, it's okay. You can paint your water right over it. There's always no mistakes, right? No mistakes. You can always fix it.
That's right.
I'm going to rinse and dry again.
Yeah, now Abby says, I got back from robotics a bit ago.
Ooh.
And thank you for painting Pegasus again.
You're welcome.
I read a book about Pegasus recently, and I enjoy the mythical creature.
Yeah.
Sipping sparkling juice and snacking on candied nuts.
Aww.
She knows how to chill.
I love it. I love it. You know what I just bought? That's actually what I just got. Now that you mentioned that, I bought The sparkling, I just showed Mark, the sparkling red grape juice, because it was in like a shiny foiled pink bottle. So I'm like, yeah. I shouldn't even say I bought it. My brother bought it and gave it to me.
Yeah, Jamie says, I feel like my to-do painting list is getting longer and longer.
Sorry, Jamie.
It's okay.
They're always going to be there, right?
Right. You got them right there on the YouTube channel. That's why we started the YouTube channel, so that people could paint at their leisure whenever they want.
That's right. So we're going to rinse and dry that brush. And after rinsing and drying, I'm going to grab a little bit of white. Not a ton this time. So a little bit of white, a corner of white, and a corner of that yellow again. But this time, just a little less. Not as generous with the paint. And I'm going to come and go around my sun again. So this time we want to bring it out a little bit into the sky to sort of overlap where our edges were from our sky.
Now this particular video, I'm going to have to take part 1 and part 2 and then
that's right.
edit it together so that we can just have one video.
Yes, that's correct. Thank you, dear. So again, I just took a little corner of white, little corner of yellow, and I want to come around the edge of my sun again and overlap into my sky a little so that you kind of lose those edges of those brush marks.
Oh, okay. So you're doing it very lightly?
No, I'm doing it heavy enough to cover those areas and blend at the same time, because as you blend that, as you brush the yellow and white over that pink area, you're going to get the orange.
Okay.
And then we'll rinse and dry again. Everybody okay? Do I need to repeat anything for anybody? If anyone happened to hop on or find us after we started again,
So far so good. Everybody's
just let
back.
me know.
It was a little hiccup in our broadcast, and
Sorry.
we got back up and running, and everybody pretty much joined back in.
Okay.
I mean, they were in the middle of painting a
I know.
masterpiece, and it just got ended.
Yeah. Sorry.
So I'm glad everybody joined us back.
Me too. Alrighty. So we'll rinse and dry that brush, and let's make some color for our water. So I like kind of that aqua teal color. So to make that, that's usually why I lay my blue and my yellow together on my plate. I'm going to take a little of my blue and just a tiny touch of my yellow. That usually does it. So it's just kind of that mixture until you get the color that you like. And I just kind of brush it on my plate, mixing it on the brush.
Until you get the shade that you like?
Yep. And I'm just kind of pulling it down on my brush with it so that my brush sort of stays flat like this. So my brush is pretty loaded with that color. So I do want to kind of take it right across. And everybody that knows me knows that I cannot do a straight line. It's always going to be on an angle no matter how hard I try.
That's right.
So right across. And I'm gonna try and do a straight line, and it's okay if you go over those hooves because we're gonna, or those legs, because we're gonna chop the water up in there anyway. So don't worry.
Okay. I've been trying to get her to accept us. It's not gonna be a straight line for over a year now.
No.
At some point, she's gonna just have to accept it as her trademark.
Everybody always knows the second painting that I did.
You can look at all of the paintings and see the second painting is always gonna be crooked.
All right, once I have that kind of horizon line there,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and fill that all the way in.
Even though you're painting over the hoofs?
Yep, that's okay, because we're gonna cover it with water anyway,
Okay.
with splashes. Now we'll paint the horse in, we'll paint it, but we're gonna end up kind of covering it with splashed water anyway, so.
All right. Splashed water.
And again, this is all about how much water you want on your camp. Like if you only want, you know, I only have part of his legs in the water right now. If you want to bring this up and bring your water level all the way up here, you certainly can. And then try not to go over your legs so much. But either way, it's all up to you.
Carrie Anderson says she is loving your instruction.
Hey, aw, thank you, Carrie. It's kind of like, I don't know, I like to teach for kids too. I don't like to say teach, but I like to guide kids too.
Yeah, that's a good word.
So the simpler the better for me with instructions. Wow, Rascal is sawing wood, man.
Yeah, let him saw wood.
So once I have about maybe 2 brush widths on here of this color, then I'm gonna go ahead and add white. So we're gonna start with white. Same brush. I'm not gonna rinse or dry, so dirty brush, just grab some white.
Yeah, see now, Abby says, yeah, I'm doing good. I just still need to do the sun.
Oh, that's
But
okay.
feel free to move on when ready. And I'm loving this coloring. I have your old painting of this in my room.
Aw, see? That's right, we did one very similar to this a couple years ago. 2 years ago.
Is it on our YouTube channel?
I think so. Yeah, it was pretty close to this. We did like a rainbow horse. The horse was white, and we colored the mane in
yeah.
rainbow.
I remember that. Yes, it
Yeah,
is
and
on
I
our
think
YouTube
that was for
channel.
Abby too.
And Jamie says, I use painter's tape when I'm painting water horizon lines. It works for me.
Oh, that is it's a really smart idea, girl.
You don't need to put tape on the...
All right, so all I did was a little bit of white right across the bottom, and then I'm blending it up into the blue that we put in there. If you need a little bit more, so you can blend just a little bit more at a time. There we go.
Yeah, I could see you now pulling out the tape.
I've done it before, but
And
I don't know.
She taped it crooked when she put the tape on.
You're probably right.
Because she's got to reach over. You got to reach over her right.
It's all about perspective, and that's for everything in life. It's all about perspective. So looking from this angle, because of where I'm at, this line looks perfectly straight, and this sun looks perfectly round. But I know that if I step right in front of it, it is probably an oval sun.
It's okay.
It is.
Okay. It's okay.
I'm just saying. I know that. I realize that.
It still turns out to be a beautiful painting.
All right.
And when everybody sends their paintings into the fan page, you see beautiful paintings. That's all I ever see. I don't see anybody going, oh, it's all crooked. Oh, it's still good.
So next up, after I have this white on there, so I did one little brush stroke of white, brought it up. So same brush. I'm not even going to rinse or dry. This time I'm going to do a corner of white and a corner of red. Little corner of red. Little bit of red that goes a long way in this area here. In any area really, but big corner of white, little corner of red, dirty brush.
Dirty brush.
Dirty brush. We're gonna come right along the bottom where we left off again. So I like to kind of blend with my brush instead of doing lots of mixing on my plate. So after we have those on there, again, we're just gonna back and forth, horizontal brush strokes, blend up into that area again, and then pull it down.
Okay.
Still get a little bit of purples in there. So back and forth again, we're gonna back and forth, pulling it up into our blue area and then bringing it down.
Abby says, Mark, are you putting emojis in the chat? Yes, I am.
Aw, are you?
I always put emojis in the
Oh, I didn't know that.
on YouTube.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's funny.
Yeah, I was trying to get Jamie to... I'm telling you about the printer's tape. I mean, the
Painter's tape.
Even though you used it before.
Yeah. So again, now you can always add more paint if you want to add more paint. Or if you have those little areas of your canvas where you're seeing canvas still through it, a tiny bit of water, not a lot. Just kind of dip your brush in the tip of the water and make sure you kind of brush it on your cup to get the water off of it. But that little bit of water will also help your paint kind of sink into those little holes in your canvas. Too much water, you'll pull the paint off of your canvas. So a little bit at a time.
Okay.
So we have our pink in there. Now I want to get rid of some of that coloring in the brush, so we're going to rinse and dry.
Abby says she just painted her arm.
Whoopsie.
She says a little bit. She's just a messy painter.
You know. Some days I have those moments. I think this morning I did, after I painted yours, I had a lot of paint on my hands. I was doing it quickly though. I probably did that in about 30 minutes before I had to work. We're gonna rinse and dry. Again, we're gonna go back to our green, blue, turquoisey color. I'm gonna make this just a smidge darker, so I'm gonna add more blue to it.
More blue makes it darker?
More blue is gonna make it a little bit darker.
Let's go. Yeah. I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. I'm never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same. Cause that's what it takes. Pieces is a form of art. I'm never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same. Cause that's what it takes.
So you're just gonna fill in your water area now with, if you want to add more of that red color, corner of red, corner of white, and blend. So I don't have a ton of paint on here. I'm brushing until it kind of is almost dry so that it's completely blended. So you can kind of add and blend as much as you want. This is why my painting is not gonna look like my painting.
That's it. And Abby says yes, because the point is to forget all of that.
That's right.
And make something awesome.
That's it.
No one can bother you. You get the snacks out and you paint.
That's right.
And you enjoy yourself and have fun.
We're gonna rinse and dry. That's right. All right.
So you did your sky.
We got the sky.
And then you did the sun.
And we got the water.
And then you did the sky around the sun. And then you did your water line.
Yep.
And now you got your horse in the water and in the sky with the sky in the background.
That's right. So
and you said that the hoofs in the water, the legs in the water is gonna be okay because it's gonna be splashing water.
Yeah, we're gonna put splashed water right over top of them, so it's not gonna matter that you covered them up. It's okay.
There you go.
All right, so our next step is going to be to add the reflection of the sun in the water. Now that's all going to depend on where your sun is on your canvas. Mm-hmm. So if it is right in the center like mine, we're going to kind of repeat that sun pattern down here. If it's on the side, you're only going to keep the sun on, reflecting in the water on this side. And same technique, same brush. I'm going to rinse and dry, nice clean brush. Corner of white, corner of yellow. Now, remember when we put yellow on blue, it is going to turn green, and that's okay. We're still going to get that look of the sun in the water. So I'm going to come back and forth. This is where our sun is reflecting in the water.
Oh.
So start with a little bit at a time. See how much is there. If you want more of a reflection, go bigger. More white, more yellow.
And just go in the width of your sun.
Yeah, I'm just trying to, almost mimic the size of that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay if it kind of flops out and splashes out because it's moving water. You're gonna always get that. Corner of white, corner of yellow, and our water.
All right, so the following Thursday, March 17th, we're going to be doing the Lucky Gnome Self-Care Thursday.
Yay!
8 p.m. start time. I think we'll still be banned from Facebook
Yeah.
at this time, so
Yeah.
just come
Just
and join
plan
us
on YouTube.
on our YouTube channel.
Yep.
I guess we're banned for pretty much the month of March.
Yeah, let's just plan for the month of March.
Let's not ever have this happen again.
I'm sorry.
This is so bad. So we're going to have to go on our Facebook page and tell people that we will not be...
Yeah, we'll
Will they
only
even
be...
see those posts?
Yeah, no, they can see posts. The only thing that I cannot do is
can't
go
go
live
live.
from my personal page or from any of the business pages.
Oh man, there's no way we can get around that.
Not
We
that I
can't
found yet.
broadcast live
Nope.
from YouTube to Facebook?
Well, that's what we're doing. I mean, I shared it to Facebook, that's all.
Right, but it's not the live feed though. They have to click on the link to see the live feed.
Right?
But we can't broadcast live in any capacity. They're going to tell us,
Correct. That's right.
Alright, so yeah, Thursday, March 17th, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, we will be live on YouTube like we are right now, and we'll be painting the Lucky Gnome.
The Lucky Gnome.
The Lucky Gnome.
All right. So we have our reflection in the water. The next thing we're going to do is our shadow or reflection of the horse in the water, which is what I realized I forgot on the Pegasus, Abby. I was rushing through it this morning and I forgot. And I forgot it.
Yeah, but the Pegasus is like a mystical horse. It doesn't show a shadow in the water.
Okay. Sure. All right. So I'm gonna switch brushes this time. We're gonna switch over to that medium round brush. We're gonna rinse and dry. Rinse and dry.
Yeah, see now Abby's saying, what happened? What did you do?
Abby, Miss Jennifer.
And Jamie Pang says, bad girl.
I know. Miss Jennifer, I used some inappropriate language, even though I didn't spell it out on Facebook. And in fact, I did. And, and they said, not you. You can't do that.
Well, how was you using these bad words? You were
On
using
a
them as
picture.
somebody?
No, I was
describing
captioning a picture.
So you was just putting like captions in for a picture that
Yes.
you saw, and it made you think of curse words. And you put them on there, and they
I'm gonna post the picture in our group, and you guys can tell me what you think it says. Like caption the photo. It's hilarious. It's like that's what I should have said.
So you were just trying to be funny.
I was.
You were just trying to be funny.
It
and
was
they took
funny.
Seriously.
It was funny. There was like 20 comments underneath it going, yeah, really, yeah, exactly.
Well, let this be a lesson to you now. Let this be a lesson to you.
I got it.
That once you become a celebrity and you become a big star,
hello.
then you're going to have to act a certain way. You're going to have to realize that you just can't say
I don't
anything
normally. It was
at
not.
any time.
It was completely out of character.
You can't be putting captions on people's pictures, knowing that it's going to affect a whole bunch of people that want to paint with you at night.
All right, let's
Lucky we're not on TV.
Let's create. I wouldn't have time to use Facebook if
Or
I were on
they do
TV.
you like Whoopi Goldberg and suspend you
Oh my
for
god.
a whole month.
Well, that's
or
what they
whatever.
just did.
Yeah. Thank God we're not talking about millions and millions of dollars here that
Oh
they
my.
take it away from you because you use a
Okay.
bad word.
Here we go. So I want to create a gray color to do our reflection in the water. It also depends on what color you want your horse to be. So I'm gonna go with doing that kind of a gray horse again, or a black horse again. So I'm going to use a gray color. Now if you're doing a white horse, you may want a really light gray in order to reflect in the water. So it's just kind of up to you. And you can always go back and do it again once you kind of design your horse. But a little tiny bit of black with a smidge of white for a gray color. I'm going to go a little bit darker there. Just a little bit. Now, the reflection in the water is moving, so it's not going to be perfect. It does not have to be exact, we're not doing an exact replica, but we do want to kind of mimic the shades and the areas. So since these legs are coming down on this angle, I need to reflect going this way. So I'm going to just lightly kind of go back and forth with this brush. So this is kind of the reflection of that leg. Okay. So we have this leg that's sort of coming out, so we'll kind of do a little bit of wiggling over here.
So Carol Horvath says there's too much chatter.
Hi, Carol.
Cannot tell when instruction is happening.
Oh, sorry.
I'm very sorry about that.
All right, so again, I'm just kind of reflecting this in the water. We have that leg that's kind of bent here, and then this is going to be the bottom of the horse. So this is going to reflect down here. So So I'm just back and forth with that. Now my water is moving, so that's why I'm just kind of squiggling the lines in there. We have our chest coming up. We have the head or the face. Oh, and the face should be kind of pointing down. Now, if you want to, what you can do is, to help you with that, take that sketch that you have, if you want, and kind of turn it over, and you can see sort of where that reflection or the shape of what that reflection would be, okay?
Okay.
That's a little help too, if you want to be a little more precise.
So you'd have to be able to see it from the other side.
Well, it's kind of, you can usually see your outline in there, so you can see sort of the shape there. We know that I have to come this way. I know that my leg has to come up that way.
Okay.
If you want to sketch it out backwards, you certainly can do that too. So just keeping those little squiggle lines back and forth. I'm trying to stick with horizontal. Got our tail going on here. All right. I think we get it. We're in there. All right.
You've got your reflection in the water
So
now?
we got some reflecting in the water of our horse, kind of the shadow of the horse. You can rinse and dry. You got that in there. I'll give you a minute. And then we'll go on to doing our horse.
Alright, so you're going to give them a minute to do
Yep.
the reflection?
Yeah, we'll give you a minute
And
because
then
I
you're
know.
going to start doing the horse and the splashing water?
Yepper.
Okay. So let's see what else we have coming up on our events. We've got Paint and Puff Night. Adults only night, Wednesday, April 20th. That's actually 4/20, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Hopefully we'll be off the banned list and we should be back on Facebook by April 20th.
Mm-hmm.
So expect us to be on Facebook and YouTube that night. That's a Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern start time, and it's adults only.
Yepper. So many people requested that.
was a great turnout.
So we
Great
did it. I don't know. We'll go for it. All right. So our medium brush, I'm going to stick with that medium brush. Rinsed and dried. So here's where we're going to start with our horse color. So I'm going to start with kind of a medium gray color. In fact, I may start with that color that I was just using in the reflection. So I'm going to make a little more of that, and then we'll add highlights and shadows in it.
Okay.
So medium gray, and we're going to pretty much fill in our horse. And if you need to, if you feel more comfortable using that smaller brush, you can use that too. So I'm going to leave the mane and the tail open. I'm just going to fill in the body of the horse.
Now your horse can be any color you want it to be.
That's right. Now this is just a base coat, so we're just doing, we're gonna do layers. Highlights and shadows will come. So for now, we're just giving him a good coat of gray. And then do you have the April 8th event? I don't remember if you do or not.
April 8th?
Yeah, April 8th is the drag, the winter's drag painting.
Yes, I do have that.
Ooh.
Wait, is that the paint sip and swag?
Yeah. So if you are if you're close enough to Jersey, or if you're local in Jersey, we'll be in New Jersey.
April 8th.
April 8th.
6 to 11 p.m.
We will be painting.
That's a live event.
Yeah, we'll be painting and having a drag show, a dinner buffet, a bar.
That's a live show in New Jersey.
That's right, yeah. Beautiful venue too.
So that means that you have to go to the website.
Yes, so there's
MimosasMasterpieces.com.
Nope. So I did post the link. I think I'm a co-host actually on the Facebook page. You'll have to go there, and it is through Eventbrite that you would purchase your tickets for that.
Oh, through Eventbrite.
Yep.
Okay, but the website MimosaMarketingNJ.com.
Yep, it is on there as well.
Yeah, you see it right there on the ad that's on the screen.
Yep.
All right, that's April 8th.
Yeah, we're really excited for that. We have 2 drag kings, 1 queen, and we're working on, I believe, the 4th person. So the next queen.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're excited.
This is going to be a live, fun event.
It is going to be fun.
Awesome. Okay, our Kathy Reinhardt says, for the record, for the SpongeBob paint night,
Yep.
I do not like SpongeBob at all.
Okay.
My kids, however, do. So I will paint it for them. It's a good thing that they are cute. So I kind of like them.
Well, I can tell you that if you don't want to paint it, I can ship you my set. How's that? From my girl Elena and my little buddy Aiden.
And Abby says, it sounds amazing. Don't think my family is going, but maybe someday I'll meet you.
You certainly will. We will make it a point at some point to meet you, Abby.
Yes. We definitely will be meeting a lot of you.
Absolutely.
It gives us something to look forward to, something to do.
Most definitely.
Question. What color goes between pink and yellow?
So what I did was I came all the way down with the pink and white. I came all the way down to the bottom, and then I added yellow and white, and then I went up into the pink. So that kind of changed it a little orange. So again, it was the pink and white. I came all the way down, and then I went to yellow and white, and I moved up with that a little bit so that it gave me a little layer of orange in there.
Okay.
How's that? We'll give you guys a minute, and then we will start. We'll probably do our shadowing first, and then come back to the highlights next.
Those of you that were here with us last week We want to thank you for joining us,
Oh,
for being with Aiden and his clock demonstration.
Yeah.
We had a really fun time last week with Aiden.
Oh my gosh,
And
Holly.
he really enjoyed himself.
Yes, he did. He's still talking about it. So, reminder to share those photos on that fan page too.
Yes, please. It was a fun night.
It really was. I like when he gets to share his stuff. I just have to try to limit him.
Yeah. But he's a natural like his mom.
I wasn't always like this.
Yeah, well, you're natural now.
Alrighty. I am going to switch up my brushes. I'm going to go to the tiny brush now. So this is that number 4 round. Always rinse and dry before we start. Alright, let's do our shadowing first and then we can go to the highlights.
Okay.
I have to remember where my lines were. Alright, so a little bit of black at a time. Now, depending on the color of your horse, if you're doing a white horse, you want to do a gray. So you want to mix a little bit of white and black for a gray. You don't want to go super drastic. So, and if you have a, I don't know if you're doing a colorful horse, just use a darker shade for your shadowing, okay? So little brush with the black. I'm gonna start under the tummy. So we're gonna come right underneath the tummy with that black and we're gonna blend it up into the horse. Now a little bit at a time. You can always add more, it's harder to take it away, right? So I'm just gonna brush using the shape or following the shape of the tummy, that chest.
Yeah, Abby says that way you can see my smiley cabins I painted on clock night.
Yeah,
And
you
then
did a good job.
And then our Kathy says, yeah, Aiden just lit up when he was talking about his clock.
I know.
It was so cute.
He really does. He does, I know. All right, I'm gonna come under, so like the neck, the front of the neck, we're gonna come under here and down the front of the chest. And he is recording videos of clocks upstairs too.
He's got a channel. He's got a
I
channel
know,
up
I
over.
know. So since this leg is in front, I'm gonna come under this leg. Let's kind of get that almost outlined in there and then we can we can blend with that. So I'm gonna come up with this. So there's a little line coming up into the body. Okay, up into the body. We're gonna come under this leg and down around the back. So I'm just almost outlining the back of that front leg. And then we're gonna blend into the center, toward the center of the leg. So I'm just kind of pulling that line away from the edge, up into the center of the leg. If you want to get your hooves in your black while you have it right there, you can. Again, most of this will be covered anyway, but we can get them in there. Now he's
Stirring.
dreaming.
He's dreaming. He's dreaming. Come on. Let's see. Yeah, he is dreaming.
His little paws look like he's running in his sleep.
Yeah, he's moving around and everything. He's gonna wake up in a minute.
Only if I wake him.
Well, don't wake him.
Don't talk about it.
He's being good now. He's asleep.
All right. Good.
Yeah.
All right, so let's do the other front leg. Again, we're going to come along the bottom edge of each leg, of that each piece of the leg here, the top part and the bottom part.
Our Phoenix says next week she will be painting in Chisholm at her uncle's farm.
Oh, neat.
That sounds like fun.
So same thing, I'm just going to pull this line in toward the center of the leg.
Now, our Abby says, is there anything else coming up? Do we have any other events lined up?
That's it so far. I have a lot of in-person events, so that's where some of my energy is really focused on some of those in-person things, especially when we have big events like 50 to 100 people. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of energy. So you may see fewer of these self-care Thursdays, but that's why I threw like 3 in a row at you, because I know I have a busy April and May coming up.
Yeah, she's got to make some kind of money, so she's going to be doing the live events.
Yeah.
That's how she makes some money.
So, okay, now on the back leg, I'm gonna this time come on the inside or the front edge of that back leg. And then same technique, we're just gonna pull that toward the center or out away from the edge.
Are you looking forward to going out and doing some live
Yes,
live sessions?
definitely. It's a lot more.
It's been a long time. I mean, we ended up into this world like this because of the pandemic. But before that, we were only doing live events.
It's a different dynamic. I definitely miss it, but it is a lot more work, of course. All right, so we're gonna come around the rump this time. So this leg kind of comes around the rump and down, and then we will kind of blend a little of this. And I'm gonna we have to do the shadowing on this leg back here. So we're gonna pull from the rump down the back or inside of this leg to start. And then just like this one, we're gonna come right along the edge, right along the front of that leg and pull that line out to the center of the leg.
Now, if you remember, you painted over the legs.
Yep, and that's okay, see?
And you said it was going to be all right.
Yeah.
Here's the proof.
I wouldn't lie to you. I'll usually tell you if I do.
Tell you if you lie.
Yeah, let go. Oops, I lied.
Yeah, see, our Phoenix says, yeah, right now I'm hanging out with my youngest uncle.
Oh, cool.
Next week, I'll be hanging out with my oldest uncle.
That's neat. You know, I used to travel around back and forth with my aunts often. I used to love spending time with them, so I understand that feeling.
Yeah, me too, because I used to hang out with my uncles and my aunts,
Oh.
and I had some uncles that were my age,
That's cool.
you know. that really was cool, but I had a lot of uncles and aunts, and I was free to go and be with them and, you know, go wherever they wanted to take me.
Cool. All right, we're going to come up to the face, up to the head. We're going to come underneath the head with that black or your darker color. And same thing, we're going to kind of brush that up into the face a little. If you want to get that mouth in there while you're in there, you can. And then there is kind of this little area up here is where that eye is. So I'm not doing super detailed. I'm just brushing a little bit of darkness where that eye is. We're going to do just a little bit of the darkness right across the center of the back and come down just a little bit. It almost makes like this is indented more, and this area pops out, and this area will pop out once we add those highlights in there. Horses have a ton of muscles, and you can really see all of the muscles when you really get in there and do all those tiny details. We're not going to get that detailed tonight, but it is really awesome to see all those little those highlights and shadows when you're painting really realistically. You see every muscle. So I'm going to rinse and dry, and you can either go to white on this or you can go to a lighter gray. I think I'm going to do this in 2 stages. Let's do a light gray and then we'll go back and do white to finish, okay?
Okay.
So I am going to go back to the color that I used already for my body. I'm just going to add a little bit more white too, just to lighten it up. Okay.
So you just added white to it?
Yeah, I just added some more white just to lighten it. We just want a slightly lighter shade than what we have already for our highlights. All right, let's start right up at the face. We'll come right down the front of the face. A little of that gray, and I think I need to make it just a little lighter, just so you can see a little more of a difference there. All right, I have a lot of paint on my brush, so I'm just going to rinse it and dry it to get it back to a point and kind of clean out some of the paint that's up in the bristles. So we can go back to a little bit at a time so I can blend more. So we'll brush some of that lighter color down into the face. We'll come right over the top edge. We're gonna do, actually let's come down over the chest first. Let's come and do a little bit on the chest. And this time I'm not gonna brush too far in there. Just want a little highlight there. But I wanna come down over the front of this leg. And we'll blend that toward the center. So you now should have about 3 shades here, a light, a dark, and a medium gray. We'll do the same for that leg that's behind, a little right over the edge, kind of blend in toward the center, right over the top edge, and then blend toward the center.
Now, for those of you who have never painted with us before and you're newbies, what we want you to understand is that every session that we have, we encourage and we ask that you take a photo of your painting and then you post it on our Facebook fan page. It says Mimosas and Masterpieces Fan Club. That's the page right there that you see on the screen. We have albums, and we have areas where when we have a session, Jennifer will generate that area where you can put your paintings in, and then what we do is we'll do a slideshow, depending on how the turnout was for that event.
Yep.
And then we have a artist of the month every month that we take from their album that they post on this page, and we highlight them.
So yes, in that page, not only would we love for you to add to the album that we create for each specific event, we'd love for you to create your own personal album on that page and add your photos every time you create something. So this artist of the month is Jackie AJ, who's been painting with us for 2 years. And I will be creating her slideshow for her spotlight of February. So you'll see that come out this weekend.
Jackie AJ.
Yeah.
Wow.
I
Congratulations.
know. All right, let's come down. Let's do this leg over here. So I'm gonna come and do the back area. So right where kind of our shadowing stopped, I'm gonna bring the lightness now. Right down over the back and blend in toward the center. Same thing with this one. Right over the back of the leg and blend in toward the center.
Start late more often because he's knocked out. What did you do to him?
Listen, he was antsy all day. You know what? Maybe this bed is better for him. He just cannot get comfortable. He was to the vet this week and he's got arthritis, so his hips are really bothering him, and he just stands up and walks around in circles and cries, and just breaks my heart. Pain meds are not working yet, I don't think.
No. He looks very comfortable right now.
Maybe it's the bed. Might have to bring that upstairs.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, he has 3 beds in our house, but
you don't like them all.
All right, let's come right over the rump, over the top edge of the rump, and right over the edge of the back. And I'm gonna blend this down. We're gonna bring this down a little farther this time. So I'm gonna start with kind of going back through. So maybe where my shadows are, I'm still gonna kind of almost give it a little bit of an outline with that lighter color. So where those shadows are, where like our lines almost cross, so you can see that the leg kind of extends up into the body. Right where this guy meets. And we'll come down right over where the mane will probably fall, because I like to kind of add more than what's just here for my hair, but so I'm just going to kind of do this front area, bring in some of that lighter color in. And let's go to our whites. I want to do the mane last so that everybody can choose the colors they want for their mane and their tail. And that could be any color you want. That's why I was leaving that till last. So I'm going to rinse and dry our brush. We're just going to go to our white now. Just our white. So the thing that makes paintings interesting to me, and to most people probably, it makes your eye go toward it when you have that contrast of color. So black and white. That's where your eye's gonna immediately go to. So let's add some of that brightness and make our painting interesting. So we're gonna add some little areas of white. So instead of a full brush stroke, I'm just gonna add some smaller brush marks with the white in the face.
Okay.
Kind of to help almost define some of those muscles in the face, if you will. And I'm sure they're probably not anatomically correct, but and then I'm almost going to repeat where we did our highlights already. Let's do a little kind of a brush stroke every once in a while with that white. Does not have to be a lot, and it doesn't have to be the whole thing. So anywhere we started with our highlights, we're just going to layer some of those extra highlights of white. Now you can play with brush strokes and dabbing brush strokes in your horse all day.
Until you're satisfied.
That's right. So if you want it to be more textured, you can just kind of keep using little brush strokes, going in with your lighter gray, your darker gray. And that's probably what I'm gonna do here. So to add that movement and texture in our horse, we're just gonna lay the brush down. So you can go back and forth with your white, your grays, and just layer them if you want. Or you can just keep it completely smooth and solid like we had it. Those highlights and shadows kind of just give you the base. Now it's about just kind of layering your brushes, your brush strokes. So I'm using that lighter gray. And just brushing them on there. And yes, we have birds. They like to make their appearance too sometimes. They like to be known that they're here. We know.
Hey, you started it all up.
Oh my goodness. So you're just gonna switch up to do your darker, go back into your darker color, do the same thing, those little brush strokes. And again, this is only if you want to do that, adding the texture. If you just like the smoothness of what you've created, let it go. It's okay. It's all about how you feel. There's no rules for me. No rules for you from me.
That's the way we like it.
All right. I think we got some texture in there. He's looking like a horse, that's for sure. All right. Now, the fun.
Fun part?
Oh, you know what I missed up here though?
What?
His little ears. We got to get his ears up there. So up in his mane or his little ears, you can get in there with your grays. And now you're just gonna rinse and dry that flat brush good, or I'm sorry, not the flat brush, the tiny brush that we're using real good before you get started. And you can add in whatever color you want your mane to be. So on my original, I just started with that darker gray and kept my horse and the mane and tail all the same, grays, black, whites. And I'll do that again for you guys to see, but I also think it's fun to make it rainbow like we did on the first one, right? Start with your reds, work from your darker colors to your lighter colors. So darker colors first, lighter colors on top. So let's start with black here.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna start with those black. Now I'm not gonna worry about filling in the lines specifically. I'm painting right over them.
Okay.
Okay.
Making new lines.
Right, we're just gonna follow those shapes, but just keep adding.
On the outside there.
Yep, painting right over them. And again, the mane doesn't stop at the horse here. We're gonna bring some of that down into his body too. And this doesn't have to fully be filled because we're gonna add the other colors too. So it's okay if you got some space left open in there. Get that little tuft of hair up here, of his mane up here.
A little tough.
A little tuft of hair up there. And then let's do that beautiful big tail. So this whole horse painting came about when my old friend and neighbor, Sharon, who used to own a pony party business, she was kind of a neighbor, and I used to work for her in the summers when I was in high school. I used to paint horses for her, and she started sharing those paintings that she had them all framed, and they're all hanging in her house. So I kind of stole them all and started sharing them on our page, and people were like, we want to paint that one, we want to paint that one. So more will come, but this was kind of inspiration from that. Mm-hmm. But one of the fun facts that she shared and reminded me of is that I'm so allergic. I'm so allergic to horses, probably worse than cats.
Wow.
Yeah.
Allergic to horses?
I am way allergic to horses. So I used to bring a box of tissues with me. I used to have my inhaler. I used to take an allergy medicine before, probably a Benadryl. And then when I came home, but I could barely breathe, but I love them so much that I just kept doing it. She's like, you always suffered through that session every time. Like, I know, but I love them. I was always impressed with just, I don't know, the beauty of the animal. They're strong, but they're also really gentle, like if you get to know them. And they do have personalities. I used to walk a horse or a pony really, that came from, I don't know if she bought him from some type of like event place where he used to kind of act silly, like act like he was a clown. So he would just do like silly things, like stick his tongue out while he was walking, like kick his feet up while we were walking instead of walking normally. While I'm holding a kid up on top of him, he's like, dancing around. We're like, no, man, you can't do that. But it was just so funny. He just had a personality. It was cute. It was cute until he bit me in the behind. That's what, he used to, as I would turn around to put a kid on him, he would turn around and kind of nip me in the butt. And then, like, turn around like he didn't do anything.
Really?
Yeah.
You had good experiences with horses.
I mean, I definitely have, caught a few nips here and there from them. I did stop. I went horseback riding a few times, but I was thrown off, and I did not get back on after that.
You got thrown off?
I did.
It was scary?
I was younger. I mean, I was probably in high school. And yeah, I was thrown off, and then I was kind of like, yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Would I like to do it again? Probably someday. I'm not sure that a horse could hold me at this point, but
I have to be willing to get near a horse. I got bit by a horse.
Oh,
so
see?
I don't ever want to go near them.
Yeah.
And I've seen a horse kick a tree.
Okay, yeah.
And the tree was damaged beyond repair. There was no way you could fix that tree.
They're strong animals, definitely.
And I was like, well, I never want to stand behind a horse, and I never want to go up in front of a horse because the horse will bite you.
You never walk behind a horse. Never stand behind a horse. Always so they can see you. So I added those little gray brush strokes in there, and now again, I'll just grab that white and try and add some white in there. It's most likely going to turn gray, but you may have to just sort of rinse and dry that brush, or just wipe the paint off every once in a while and grab a new little dot of white paint and just keep adding. So we'll do that for both the mane and the tail again. This is just to your liking. There's no right or wrong. You just want to have a variation of colors in there. That's all. Or a variation of tones, I should say. I'll give you guys a minute or so there, and then we will go to our splashing water.
Okay.
So for my Abigail, or anybody that wants to turn it into a Pegasus, let's do that real quick for you guys, okay? So you're gonna go with, I'm just gonna do gray so you can see it, but you'll probably wanna start with white. Okay, but I'm gonna grab my gray, and what's gonna happen is I'm gonna end up covering some of my mane that I just just painted on there, but that's okay. So we want to come down around this area of his neck, like kind of the neck to the back. And we have maybe a 2-inch curve here. Yeah, about 2 inches. We're gonna bring this up almost like a little, well, it's just a curve line here. Let's start with the curve. Start with the curve. We're gonna come up and around a bit. And I'm just gonna round this off just a little and bring it up. Now this is all a matter of how big you want that wingspan to be too. So it's almost like was that G clef note or whatever? The music note, what's the appropriate term? I don't even know. So I'm gonna start with the front one and then we'll go to the back one, okay? So I started by coming on the outside with the lightest color. So I'm gonna grab white. Let me grab some white. Now I'm doing this with the small brush. You could do this with either the medium or the small. So from the outside, I'm just gonna start bringing brush strokes in. Now I wanna come down almost in like a fan shape or curve.
Okay, so our Phoenix says,
Hi,
I will
Phoenix.
post my painting tomorrow.
Okay.
I need to fix my horse and it will be easier with the paint completely dry.
Yep, no problem.
And then Kathy is saying, my eyes are leaking, you stupid onions. I'm trying to make dinner while I'm watching you.
Well.
And for Abby, now we're changing our horse into Pegasus.
Yep. So we do want to be able to come out. Here we go. So now you can see this. So let's kind of brush some of this out. So we almost want to, this is kind of our end point or our edge point for everything to come out from. So you can start here. We're going to have the darker color coming out from here. And then the lighter color will come down in.
And which wing is this?
So this is the front wing. Sorry, I was going with the darker color. So darker color first on the inside.
Okay.
Okay, so we have the layer of dark. Then we're gonna go to the lighter gray that we have. Now, Abby, you can do whatever colors you guys want. If you want to add pink in there or your purples in there, you go right ahead. Okay. We have that layer of the lighter color. And then I'm rinsing and drying and going to my white. Okay, so I'm just running through it quick so I can get to the water for everybody else, okay? And that's it. You can play with those wings or those brush strokes. Those little brush strokes are just gonna be your kind of your feathers on your wings. That's it. Let's do the second one back here. So the back one is just gonna kind of be behind our mane a bit. And we'll come up and out like this. Same thing. I'm gonna kind of come up and over from that edge, that inside edge, and then bring your white all the way up or come down with it. Either way. Okay, I'll go back and finish that, but that's your, that's the start of those. I'll show you how to edge those shortly. All right, let's do our water splashing up, okay? So that large flat brush, I'm gonna just fluff it up really good, mess it up a little bit. Now, some of you have sponges. If you're like, you paint often, you can use a sponge, you can use a makeup brush. Some people use something fluffy. You can use a sponge brush. So I just fluff out my big flat brush. Now I want to just tap it into my white. I don't want to put a ton of white on it. Just tap into my white to start. Let's start right where our feet are, or our hooves are. So light pressure on the canvas. Light pressure to start. Right where our hooves are. And then you're gonna expand that. Okay, that water splashing everywhere, not just where the footprint is. So I'm just doing white to start. Starting with our white. Again, when you go back, tap into your white a little bit, and then I kind of tap it off on an empty part of my my plate.
You're just tapping around.
Yep, just tapping around the feet, the legs. And you can bring this up into your sky a little bit, depending on where you're. So the more you press down, like as you get the paint off the brush, the more pressure you can apply.
Yeah.
And the more your bristles will kind of spread out for you.
Okay.
Okay. But you want to start with a little bit of paint and light pressure. As you remove the paint from your brush, more pressure. Like I said, I know some people like to use, they can use old makeup brushes, you can use sponge brushes, you can use an old kitchen sponge, rinsed and dried. Tapping, tap, 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 tap. So we're starting with our white. And little by little, you can add in other colors. So we want to repeat some of those colors in our water and on our sky. So same brush, you don't even have to rinse it or dry it. Let's do the blue. Blue is usually easier to start with. So I'm gonna barely touch that blue, the tip of the tip of the brush bristles in the blue. Tap into my white just a little bit. So I tapped a little bit of blue, a little bit of white, and then we can kind of add that in there. So we have a little layer of blue in there. So tapping blue, tapping white. Sorry if you're hearing that hard tap in the mic. Again, it's all about wherever you want to put this. Splashes go pretty far, so. I don't want to really rinse it because I know what will happen is it'll get too wet. So all I usually do is wipe this brush off really good on my paper towel to try and get any of that blue off. And then try and fluff again, either on your paper towel or your hand. Getting a little dirty. And let's go to a little bit of that yellow and white now. So we're almost adding some highlights to that water. Again, light pressure to start. Light pressure first, and then we can add in, or as that brush kind of lets go of some of that paint, you can add more pressure to spread those bristles out. Again, just wipe that off of your brush, just a little. I'll do the same thing with my red. Fluff the brush, a little bit of white, little tiny bit of red, little tiny bit of red. Get some paint going on there. Same thing. Now again, if you want to extend those, that splash, come right up, go right out of your water line. You don't have to stay under the water line. Oops, sorry. Right. Don't have to stay under the water line. I'm gonna grab a little bit more of just the straight white to do the same thing again. Couple areas, we don't have to go over the whole thing. It's just those little highlights in the water. Got our horse running on our water. rinsing and drying. So I will finish those Pegasus wings, but if you are not doing the wings, you can sign and date your painting. The other thing that we had mentioned again is we'd love for you to share. Take a picture, put it on our fan page if you want to add to the fan page. Create your own album if you haven't already, because we love seeing your work. The other thing we ask, or not even ask, but that's available is our virtual tip jar that is on our website, mimosasmasterpieces.com. So after we have a couple of tippers, then we'll go live for a spinner, usually Monday or Tuesday next week. We give everybody a chance to paint it. And then everybody that has used our virtual tip jar, we throw you on that little wheel and we randomly choose a winner to get a little swag from us, whether it's a cup or a mug or maybe a bag or a set of brushes. Just a little something extra throw your way, and thank you guys for being with us. So let's go back to those wings. So I'm going to finish with those pretty wings for my Addie. So just brushing. Mark just ran upstairs, so sorry if you're messaging. He'll be back in a minute. So having those different layers of color kind of do help those little, make it look like wings. You have those lights and darks. Let's come back this way. So I'm gonna kind of try and get in there and fill that little section in. I hear Aiden cuckooing back there. So remember, I tried to do like 3 layers of color, like the brightest, kind of the medium color, and then the darker. So I'm gonna do that darker back here too. There we go. Rinsing and drying. And the last thing we have to do is just sort of finish off that edging. So I'm going to take the lightest color, so probably just grab white here and come around the edge of each of those little sets of wings. So right around the edge, so you can see that definition of where each of the wings are. I'll do the same back here. All right, last little detail in there. I'm gonna take that tiny brush and rinse and dry really good. Just check for comments.
Okay.
So that tiny brush, this time with a little tiny bit of black paint at a time, to help kind of define some of those feathers, I guess, in the wings. So really lightly with a tiny bit of paint on that brush. So light pressure, a little bit of paint. And we're just gonna kind of define some of those little feathers in those wings. Almost done. Almost done. This is the last little step, and then you guys can sign and date that painting. Phew. Rascal says, phew. Finally, Mom.
Still sleeping.
So as I'm closer to the kind of the edge of the wing, I'm making it a little bit darker by adding some more of those little details, that darkness. There we go. All right, guys, I think we're signing and dating, and we're complete. All right, so I always like to sign bottom right or bottom left, just my initials and the year. And that's all. I hope everybody enjoyed tonight and had fun and had some downtime and relaxed time.
on Thursday night.
On our self-care Thursday.
Good way to get the weekend started.
That's right. I enjoyed. Thanks, Abby, for your suggestion of the Pegasus. I like it. You can even put a corn. You
What?
can even. I was trying to say you can even kind of make it into a unicorn if you put a horn on it, but I said put a horn on or put corn on it. Who's tired? Me.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yes. Now I feel like I need shadowing under here because of the wings. There we go. All right, stop playing with it, right? Sometimes you just gotta walk away. But this is what happens with paintings like this that are slightly abstract, that you can keep playing with it and playing with it. It's okay. And a lot of people sometimes forget that, you're really up close to this and you're looking at it from a much different viewpoint than if you were to be across the room or walk away. So sometimes I just tell people, if you're frustrated or you feel like you don't like it, walk away for a little bit. Take a break. Go outside. Go get a sip of drink. Just walk out of the room for a little bit and then come back to it. And you do get a different vantage point after you kind of walk away from it a bit. Because I'm hard on myself sometimes too when I'm doing things. And Mark's always encouraged me. There's been some paintings that I'm like, nope. It's not happening. Nope, not happening. And he's like, no, it's good, keep going. I'm like, no, fine. But when I put it down for the night and I went back to it the next day, I felt better about it. So it happens that way. It's okay.
Right, even Kathy says it's missing the unicorn horn.
Yeah? All right.
Kathy said, we love you. Thank you so much.
Love
you
you
truly
too.
make painting fun and easy. Abby says, yes, thank you for painting. If you add a
Always.
horn, I think it becomes a
Oh,
alicorn.
an alicorn?
Yeah, if you add a horn, I think it becomes an alicorn.
I have no idea what that means. I've never heard that term.
And our Grandma Pat says,
Hi, Grandma Pat.
love my first horse picture.
Yes.
Thanks for another great evening.
You're very welcome.
Yes, he said alicorn.
An alicorn. I'm going to have to look that up.
Maybe it's a typo. I don't know.
I have to look it up now. As soon as we're done, I'm looking that up. And I'm going to have to post the picture on the Facebook page so you guys can tell me what you would caption the picture that I captioned and they got banned for. But I don't want you to get banned either, so
Yeah,
maybe
so-
private message me instead.
Yeah, just be careful because we're missing a whole month of events here because of that.
Oh my goodness.
I never would have thought something
so
like that
funny.
would have ever happened to us, but here we are.
It's funny because I added a group of pictures from the event to my page, and all of the ones that are kind of like I'm usually pretty, mindful of my friends seeing themselves like not in a great light, and not use certain photos. There's a couple that were just kind of funny and unique of my same friend, two of them. And she's the one that pointed them out. I'm like, see, nobody would have even noticed because nobody scrolled through my 20 photos, but you pointed it out. Now everybody commented on it. It happens
We
that
got
way.
White Ranch and Rescue saying, love this, so
Oh,
enjoyed this
cool.
painting. Thanks for a wonderful evening.
Thank you.
We want to thank you for joining us.
Oh, White Ranch and Rescue.
Yes.
Where are you located? Maybe we do
Yeah.
want to go horseback riding again.
And our captain said, I just like the idea of the horn so we can stab people and things that annoy it.
You might get banned now for that.
And Jackie Jeffers says, thanks for a fun evening.
You're welcome, Jackie.
And then Abby says, as far as I know, an alicorn is a pegasus with a horn of a unicorn with wings. See?
See? The kid dropping the knowledge on the adult. Love it. Thank you.
You can't help but love it,
I
right?
It's unique.
Yes, very good job. Very good job. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight.
Yes. Thank you all very much. We will see everybody next week for SpongeBob. Make
Yes.
sure you sign up on the website. I'm sure if you signed up for tonight, you know how to do that. Normally, our pop art nights are a pop art workshop, and they're usually $10. But because I know I'm going to be really busy the next couple of months with in-person events, I just left it free. So we're going to do some self-care. And it's going to be a busy... That was silly of me.
What?
I have a really busy weekend that weekend.
Yeah,
No,
you do.
I forgot about that. It's okay. It's all good. It's for you. It's all good. Awesome.
Thank you, everybody.
Good boy. All right, everyone have a wonderful night and a great weekend. And enjoy. We'll see you guys next time.
All right.
Everyone.